Hey folks, Rob Satch from Feedbackwrench. I've already hit on websites, lead generation. We've talked about how we write for you. Now I just want to talk a little bit about search engine optimization because it's something that really has a ton of confusion around it. In fact, when I listen to folks talk about SEO, there's too many companies out there that are doing a disservice here. So again, if you go to services here, we've got SEO. We've got a whole page that's just dedicated to websites and advertising for accountants. But what you'll see here is it's all about how do you position yourself so that when somebody makes a search for either the bottom of funnel keywords, which are like accountants near me, bookkeepers near me, tax accountants near me, I'm going to show you one simple way that'll actually help you out. And that's going to be your first piece of homework. I'm going to give you just free value in this conversation. I'd love it if you'd book on our calendar. I'm telling you, hit the schedule a consultation button up here. That will lead over to my Calendly link. We will set something up similar for you, but I'm telling you, we will bring you through and do all this for you. It's so simple. We make this easy. We've built a team in order to do this, but let's just talk a little bit about what goes into actually ranking on Google and Bing, or these search engines, right? So the first thing that people need to understand is that there's different levels of funnel or keywords, right? So your core commercial keywords are actually quite hard to rank for, right? Accountants near me, CPA near me, bookkeepers near me. And what you should know is that the main thing that you do for that is you need to work on your Google My Business. Okay, we will use paid search ads to cheat and get to the front, but here's my old firm, Nuance Financial Tax and Accounting. Our number one thing that we did is we worked to make sure that we had more reviews than anybody else. And by doing that, what that does is it makes sure that the keywords Google My Business or accountant near me, bookkeeper near me, all of these local keywords. In fact, if you take a look down here, I just hit on this on the other one. Here's the monthly search volume. Accounting services has 12,000 a month. Accountants 90,000 a month. Accountants near me 40,000 a month. CPA near me 60,000 a month. Bookkeepers near me. All of these keywords have massive search engine volume, and they trigger the local Google My Business box. So because it does that, what you need to know is that this is the primary thing you do, and you have to get Google My Business set up. You go to google.com/business and then work your tail off to get more reviews than everybody else. In fact, I find it funny that these two are kind of the two biggest in the Twin Cities. I built the highest ranking accounting firm out there. And then Poor Valley Tax and Accounting is advertising to show off one review, and that's just pathetic. It's sad. They're nice, but boy, it's bad. So what I want to talk about is that's your core commercial keyword, right? That's your number one thing you want to rank for, but that's not easy. And I'll talk to you, it's about your reviews, but then it's also about showing that you're trustworthy, that you're authoritative, and that you're an expert in your field, and there's things you do over time. And that's the biggest thing that I want you to understand is that in order to show up for search queries or search, when people search, in order to show up at all and then to rank above, it's kind of like growing a tree, right? When was the best time to plant a tree? 15, 20 years ago, right? The best time to have started SEO was a long time ago. The second best time is now. And what's difficult about SEO is that it doesn't produce instant results. What you're going to do is you're going to build up your authority, and you're going to answer more queries and questions with your website through blogging, through content, in order that Google sees that you handle queries concerning your subject matter really well. So everything from, and I've got a blog post that I can show you that are all these different things that you can do. People have questions about accounting, bookkeeping, taxes in your area, in your niche, in your sector. And what we want to do is show to Google that you are a great solution. So I'm going to walk through, again, the number one thing to get the core commercial keywords is Google My Business. But the first step that you have to work on, we have to optimize things, okay? Every website, people hear SEO, and that's search engine optimization. Here's what I'll tell you. Our websites are built optimized. We have great meta titles. I understand the search queries. We're going to make sure that the site is fast. We're going to get alt image text. We're going to get good H1s, H2s, H3s. We're going to make sure that we have copy that actually makes sense. There's not going to be any duplicate content like you'll see from like websites for accountants or CPA site solutions or some of these templates. You're going to have good, unique content. We're going to make sure that we add in local schema, which is the local business schema, which sends some great signals. We're going to help you with citations. We actually go in and make sure that we have you on the core citations that make the most sense. There's some additional ones for CPA CPAs that you'll want to do. But the bottom line is we will optimize your site, okay? Now, if you have another site and we didn't build it, can't help you too much, but we can help that. The next step is to understand what are the keywords that you want to target. Now, this isn't like I want accountants near me and accountants in Minnesota and accountants in Lakeville and accountants for this. There's certainly some of that, but a lot of it is more of like the family of thought or a topic, right? So how to set up an LLC in Minnesota would be a great piece of content that you'd want to rank for, because those are going to be people that are business owners, right? How to convert to an S Corp in Minnesota. What's the tax difference between an LLC and an S Corp? How to set up payroll in Minnesota. How to pay in your quarterlies in Minnesota. And so the idea is we just want to think of the kind of the FAQs. That's really what it is. We're identifying frequently asked questions, topics or ideas or things that you want to teach on so that you can show that you're an authority. And that's what the keyword planning is all about. There's a little bit of the keyword planning where there's certain niches, right? So accountants, so for example, I do web design, and web design is a really broad category, or websites, and then I do websites for accountants. I also do websites for seal coat companies and contractors and all sorts of different places. Those niches are also an SEO thing that we will do. We will make sure that we win those family of keywords, but you have to start by planning the keyword. Now, once you plan the keyword, we collaborate with you. You're the subject matter expert, right? Now, we know a lot in this world, but also things are changing. What we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure that we say things that line up with your values, your approach to accounting and everything. The next big step, we will actually write content for you. We write heavy duty, full flavored, good articles, 500 to 3,500 words. We mark it up properly, and then we create a whole bunch of supporting graphics and content, and then we have outlinks. We have links that are internal to your own site, links that are external to cite your sources, and by doing that, it's going to be optimized, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. The next thing, which is probably the most important, is building authority. So here's what you need to know. Backlinks, getting a hyperlink from another website over to your website, is one of the most important things that you can do to cause your piece of content and your website in general to rank above others. So what we're going to do is we're going to help you by collaborating with a whole bunch of accountants. We have access to scores of accountants' websites. We do website copywriting for scores of websites, and we will help you in a natural way collaborate with other accountants, bookkeepers, and tax firms. The requirement for you is that you have to be a customer that has this service, and that's $1,000 a month, and we're going to produce one amazing piece of content a month, and we're going to collaborate within our network. And what that'll do is it'll cause you to be kind of the 10-ton behemoth in your industry, especially compared to all your other peers, because guess what? Accountants don't do a very good job of this unless they're our customers. So we're going to build up authority, and those are votes of confidence from other websites. Every time there's a hyperlink to your website, your article in another good, relevant website, what you're going to see is that shows that you're relevant, and it helps build authority. It's a vote of confidence. The last thing is that we'll do all sorts of stuff to promote your content, right? We're going to make sure that eyes get on your website. Google's paying close attention to as it serves up your website and your individual web pages as solutions to queries. Essentially what's happening is that it's watching whether or not people consume it. How do they respond on it? Do they just bounce out right away, do a pogo stick where they click in and they're like, that's not a good answer. They bounce out and try and look for something else. It's almost like serving food, right? If you sit down at a table at the state fair here in Minneapolis and you ask for a cookie, Google is the concierge. He shows 7 cookies to you. You take a little nibble of each one, and he pays close attention to which one you actually finish and which one you're like, I don't like it, and you get out of it. So when we promote it, whether that's through social media to get people reading it, or if we even use it in some paid search ads, or if we do some remarketing, there's some different things that we can do to get people kind of testing your content and reading your content. And over time, what you'll see is that by doing that, it helps generate SEO. If people are just reading and consuming your content, you will rank over time. You can't keep good content down. And that's why we write for engagement. It's not about keyword stuffing. It's about actually creating something that someone will read. And it also needs to, have a purpose for your niche and your business. So yeah, this whole solution for us ends up being $1,000 a month. Now your website's going to be optimized no matter what. So this $1,000 is us literally, we identify the keywords that matter, we collaborate with your team, we'll do the writing and create everything so that it's engaging, authoritative content. We'll develop the graphics with our team, and then we'll build authority and get you backlinks for it, and we will promote the content using paid ads and different things. That $1,000 a month is certainly there to help you grow your authority. It's a commitment. If you do this, what you'll find is over time, you will absolutely be swimming in leads. Your Google My Business will be far above everybody else. Your website will rank higher. You'll also be ranking for all sorts of niches, and that's probably the most unique thing, right? We can make sure that you rank for all sorts of stuff. I'd add that we usually take these articles and then we'll help you create a video to them as well. When you're a client with this, there's different things we can do depending on how you want to look and what your standards are for visuals, whether it's really high end or more basic. We'll take that piece of content and we'll actually help that rank by putting video to it, and then it will live on YouTube, it will live on Facebook, it will live on LinkedIn, and there's a lot you can do. Now I'm just going to show you a quick example, and this is funny because it's an article called SEO for Accountants and CPA Firms, 5 Steps to Rank on Google and Bing. This is an article, and I'll just use it as an example of something that would rank really high, right? Good Accountant Marketing uses 3 approaches. So what you'll notice here is we have good headers for just about everything. We have interesting information right off the bat. We've actually put SEO for Accountants and CPA is what we're trying to rank for. You'll see that we have an image that actually says that. We will come in and we'll use that language throughout all of the website, but you'll notice that we have this structure so that it's easy to read. There's images highlighting things. There's bullet points that you can skim. We have headers that are asking the questions again. We hyperlink internally to our own stuff, and we also connect to the most authoritative sources. So this is Google's most authoritative link to search engine optimization. We've gone through and shown kind of the 6 fundamentals. So again, number 1 is we've bullet pointed things, and it's good, helpful content, right? The 6 things are to build an excellent website that's easy to use, get the most Google and Facebook reviews, perform fundamental SEO on that website, which is just make sure it's done well, and we could give you a super long list of that. Write authoritative articles and content that solve relevant queries, promote the content so people can consume it, attract backlinks to build authority to the article and to your website. So we've made an article here. We've made even a little graphic. We can now download this, share it. It will also show up in the search engines as you search for it. And what you'll see is this is a good guide. Now what I'll do here is I'll actually put a video on the top after a little bit that will summarize all of this information and help people. But this is an example of a piece of content that we would create. We're often doing something just like this for our accounting customers. And like I said, we've got a little client confidentiality, so I don't want to show every single one that we have. And there's a couple reasons for that. But basically what we do is we work with you to understand how do we go after these niches, what's the content that needs to get written, and we'd love to help you. Good luck, God bless. Book on my calendar. I'm looking forward to meeting you. And no matter what, I just hope that your business moves upward and forward.